Good morning, boys and girls. On to our next read aloud from Rules. Where we left off last, Christy and Catherine were at the pond and they were kind of swimming across and going to the float, and they were at that spot. So here we go. We continue. Let's see if Christy is into this swimming in the pond kind of thing. All right, I'll start over from a little bit back. This guy catches a big fish, except the fish says he really is a prince under a spell. The man lets the fish go, but the wife sends him back to get a wish granted. I'd scream if a fish started talking to me. Me too. But what would you wish? I'd wish my parents would get back together and be happy. She turns to me, her eyes worried. Do you think that's two wishes or just one? Oh, one. Your turn. What's your wish? I look down between the raft boards and imagine my always wish, my fingers reaching through the perfect top of David's head, finding the broken places in his brain, turning knobs or flipping switches, all his autism wiped clean. But saying that wish brings trouble. All people have a place, my third grade teacher said firmly when I drew a pretend older brother in my family picture to be put in the hallway for open house. I tried to tell her it was still David, but I wanted him to be able to play with me. And since I was fixing things, I made him older so he would stick up for me. But I had to draw the picture over and visit the guidance counselor instead of going to music. Why is it in fairy tales wishes always seem to backfire? I ask. Here's our next rule. If you want to change the subject, confuse the other person by going off on a wild, chatty detour. Good advice. Change the topic, right? You ever try that? Like in The Fisherman and His Wife, I continue. The fisherman's wife keeps wanting bigger things, and by the end of the story, hey, a voice calls, Chris. I wonder who it is. I sit up quick. I scrape my knees on the raft. Ryan waves standing on the sand at the shore. Behind him, his bike rests propped against a tree. Christy waves back, hi. I hope she yells at him to go home, but she says, come on, Catherine, and does a running dive heading for shore. I let her swim ahead of me. I do the breaststroke, dipping my face in and out of the water so I don't have to see Ryan standing on the sand waiting for us. At the shore, I cross my arms over my stomach and walk to my shorts and towel. Your mom said you were here, Ryan says to Christy. Did you ask Catherine it yet? Hmm. Ask me what? Christy smiles. Catherine, you know how the community center's holding a dance on Saturday? I nod. They asked me to help decorate, Christy says, and I was hoping, oh, I can help you decorate, I say, grabbing my towel off the sand. I'm really good at making posters. Actually, I was hoping like you'd like to go. Christy glances at Ryan. Me and Ryan and you and maybe somebody. It'll be so much fun. Please say yes. I wrap my towel around me as tight as I can. I don't know anyone to ask. Ask Jason, Christy says. That boy you drew. This is your chance to ask him out. I open my mouth, but Ryan's smirk makes me close it. But that's not the only reason I don't tell. I don't dance. I slide my feet into my flip-flops. I'll teach you, Christy says. My dad works late a lot, so I don't think I could get a ride. My mom can drop you off and pick us up. On the walk home, Christy has an answer for every one of my can'ts, every one of my excuses. She'll even loan me clothes and do my hair. Ask him, she says. By the time she's heading up her driveway, Christy has cornered me into a stuttered, I'll think about it. In my room, I peel off my damp bathing suit and put on the first clothes I pulled from my bureau, an old shirt and shorts that don't match. I comb wet snarls from my hair and watch Christy's minivan backing out of their driveway. Did Christy call me because she can't go to the dance with Ryan unless I go too? The minivan disappears from view. I turn to my bulletin board and the postcard from Disneyland tacked on the top. I wish it wasn't so expensive to call California. I want to tell Melissa everything and her say, "It's okay, Catherine." But it takes too long to explain, and maybe she'd be mad I cared so much about Christy being my friend. In my sketchbook, I try to draw my ankles distorted by pond water, but they don't look warped and interesting. They look broken. I write words in the white space beside the sketch, but after pond and icy, the only ones that'll come are guilty, complicated, hidden, and weak. I close my sketchbook. All right. I wonder how she's gonna, deal with this situation with her friend. Anyway, our next rule that we will read tomorrow is solving one problem can create another. All right. We will see what brings us with that. Okay. All right. Until next time, boys and girls.